Hey, Harvest, welcome to another episode of the State of the Church podcast. Happy New Year. As we kick off a brand new ministry year of 2026 together.
Yeah.
Terry, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
And we had quite the holiday season here at the church. And
We did. I'm not quite over saying Merry Christmas yet. I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out.
I mean, it only comes around once a year,
I
so,
know.
you know.
I know.
I thought this year was really sweet. I love the Christmas Eve service that we had. It was so cool coming in and seeing so many folks packed into the west wing of the building, just celebrating community and the remembrance of the birth of our Savior, and then the service, and then just the services around Christmas. We actually decorated this year.
Yeah.
It was really sweet. And so anyway, just lots of fun festivus things
And what
happening in the
better
church
things to do when you come together as a Christmas party than to do cookies, hot chocolate, coffee.
It was great.
And Christmas bingo.
I mean,
that's the thing, right? I'm sure that's what Mary and Joseph did on Jesus'
it was so historically accurate, Terry.
Right. That's good, because that's what we were going for.
Exactly. All right. Man, as we kind of jump into a new year, I know we got some things kind of coming up here in January. This time of year is exciting because of the newness, but it's also a little bit of a lull. And so it's kind of like one of those, I feel like almost like a paradox in a way. It's like there's all this excitement, but yet there's also not a whole lot of activity, at least here in Clear Lake this time of year. So
it's kind of like one of those moments when you hurry up and wait. You hurry up for the restart of the new year, and we get to talk about fresh stuff, and then winter in Clear Lake slows things down a little bit. January is a little bit of a slower time, but that's okay. After December, we could use it. So
Right. I know we had, as a staff here at the church, we had a lot going on. I know we had some wonderful volunteers who put in a lot of time and effort, and I just want to say thank you to our volunteers and to our church just for all the work that they did as they served this holiday season here in the house. And just the Christmas season is always just extra. But something I've just been reminded of lately is just to look for the Savior amidst the things that are unexpected. And so I felt like I got to experience a bit of that in my own heart and life this year during the Christmas season. But with that, Terry, what's God been doing in your heart? And just give us some insight to what's going on in the heart of our pastor as we go into 2026 together.
Yeah, I've said this before. I typically don't take my personal study and devotion time and combine it with things that I'm studying for the church. But sometimes they'll cross over, especially as I'm preparing and studying and spending time with the Lord on behalf, for the church and the things that we do at the church. That they cross over a little bit. And I'd say that's kind of something that's been going on a little bit lately. I've been working towards, should we have a theme for our preaching series next year? And at least the beginning of the year we're going to. And as I've been praying over that theme is revival. Like we're looking and hoping that God will do some big things and some great things in North Iowa. And as I've kind of started working through that, I've been reminded of the fact that I've quoted this before. My kids probably think I overuse it too much, but the great theologian Michael Jackson once said, I'm looking at the man in the mirror, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to change the world, take a look at yourself. And so that's actually very biblically accurate. So if we want to see revival happen, that revival really should start with us. And as a pastor, it starts with me. And so, what does that look like in my life? And then what does that look like in the life of our people? And how do we get that to spread from us out into our community and into our culture? And so we would love to see revival in our community and in our state and in our nation, and seeing just thousands of people give their life to Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. And so, that revival typically starts at least with someone, and why can't that be us? Mm. So that's kind of been my focus over the last month or so, and something I've really been, that's really kind of hit me hard, and as we've been working to plan. As you know, I try to plan out my preaching schedule for a full year in advance, and so that's what's been kind of going on in my head and heart.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm excited to kick off a new series with you this weekend, and just seeing what the Lord has in store for us as a church. And I know, like, last year we were talking a lot about next steps, and you've had some wonderful feedback in regards to just how people have kind of taken those next steps in their life over the past year. And as we kind of start talking about, like, revival and awakening, like, I'm curious and excited to see what the Lord's going to do in us as we kind of dig into that aspect of, us as a church together.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to kicking off a new sermon series with you this weekend as we go into the new year. But with
I
that,
hope it's going to be as good. Because I wasn't planning this, but
Sure.
yeah, looking back at 2025, that theme of next steps. We had some great feedback on it, and it came from a place of, in our church, we have people who've been churched for their whole lives.
Yeah, sure.
And we have people that have just given their lives to Christ somewhat recently. And so, but no matter where we are, there's always something that we can do to strengthen a relationship in life. And there's always something that we can do to strengthen our relationship with the Lord. And
Yeah, right.
so that always starts with drawing near to Him.
Yeah,
It
right.
starts with salvation, drawing near to Him in salvation, but in our pursuit of Him. And so hopefully it's something that's impacted a lot of people this year. I know a lot of people have commented on it. And so we don't choose a theme every year, but that was a theme that it was like, no, for sure. I felt like God was saying, this is a theme that you're going to go for the year. So our whole preaching series, all throughout the year, was all with the theme of next steps. How do we get people to take their next steps? And so we'll see what that looks like for revival in 2026.
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited. So with that, let's kind of switch gears here for our folks and talk a little bit about some ministry updates that we got coming up. We have some stuff. We don't have a whole lot going on in January. This is kind of a quiet month for us as a house.
Yeah.
But let's still kind of just go through some of the stuff we got coming up. So let's just start with children's ministry. I know we got Harvest Kids. Catherine and her team have been working on implementing a new check-in process, I believe.
Out of necessity, which is great.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, just as we continue to get more and more kids and the church continues to grow, kind of puts us in a place where we have to be a little bit more intentional about being organized.
Yeah, right.
And, making sure we want to make sure that our kids are safe and protected and also aren't uncomfortable, like, ooh, where do I go, especially visitors and that kind of thing. And so, we've implemented a new check-in process we are implementing a new check-in process that will kind of help with all of those things. Make sure we know where all the kids are, make sure that all the kids are, safe and protected and have somebody watching over them.
Yeah, right.
So, it'll be a good blessing. It'll help our kids still have fun and, be safe and organized all at the same time.
Yeah,
so,
that's it seems like a simple thing, but it's a big thing. So I'm excited for just to see the continued growth in our kids' ministry, like not just on Sunday mornings, but on Wednesday nights. Like I know the Cat Myers do a wonderful job leading the Bible Builders.
Yeah.
And
that's still a lot of
kids'
work.
ministry. It is a lot of work.
We say it's a low down month, and all of our teachers who help with all of our kids' stuff are kind of like, yeah, it's really never a down low month because there's so many kids that they're overseeing. But in Harvest Kids, Catherine and Lindsay Broadbent are doing such a great job in getting everything organized and the plan for the year. And then in Bible Builders, Mark and Tara and all the awesome teachers that are helping there are still doing a ton of work. It's a lot of kids.
And again, just for those of you who are watching today, like if you haven't been in the building on a Wednesday night, like it's insanity in the best way
Organized
possible.
chaos is what we
but
call
man,
it.
just what a blessing is it to like be a house that has such a vibrant kids ministry, like to have so many students, like youth in the building as well as kids in the building. You're having like around 100 people in the building on a given Wednesday night, and just again, gifts from the Lord to steward. And so I just want to thank our church for the way that you steward this work and all the volunteers who help make that possible and do the work of ministry. But we also still need folks to be involved. So if you're not serving right now in a way, there's just so much that happens on a Wednesday night that needs help outside of a Sunday. So if Sundays for some reason are just a struggle for you to be able to have consistency in, to be able to serve or help, there's so much that goes on a Wednesday night that we have room for more volunteers and leaders in student ministries, youth ministries, as well as kids ministries, Bible builders. So talk to Terry, talk to Catherine, even talk to me, and I can even help direct you to the right conversation to have with who it needs to be had with about getting plugged in. But man, I come down on Wednesday nights periodically and hang out with our student ministries, our youth ministry, and man, it's just so cool to see so many kids who don't necessarily show up on a Sunday because their parents maybe don't go to this church. But man, like we're getting to serve and give the gospel to in a way that is transformative and just life-giving to people who you as a churchgoer on a Sunday morning may never get a chance to see or even know about. So man, I'd encourage you just as our church to be praying, how can I be serving and helping the next generation of church leaders and Christ followers here in our own house that's happening on a Sunday and on a Wednesday. So with that, just
honestly, even in a simple way, like we could use a couple of people just to stand in the lobby and, kind of keep an eye on things out in the lobby as kids are running back and forth to the bathroom and that kind of thing. Like not even really teaching, just standing and hanging out in the lobby for the kids that are running around while the teachers are in working with the kids. So something that simple.
I'm looking at you, retirees, right now. Man, like you may seriously though, like you may be at a place where you're like, hey, like I'm kind of older in life and I don't really have anything to offer or give. But man, like just your time. Like just being present means so much to some of these kids, So if you're in a place right now where like, maybe you have some flexibility in your schedule and maybe you're not working a 50-hour work week anymore, but you have a little bit of flexibility to just show up at church on a Wednesday night and be a part of what God's doing in our church on a Wednesday night with student ministries and Bible builders, like, man, that would be a blessing to these kids. And so I would encourage you to think about what that might look like for you to participate in that way. You don't have to, be the most, the greatest theologian in the world. You don't have to, be a pastor to participate in student ministries, right? It just really comes down to being present and giving the kids an opportunity for somebody to listen to them and meet them where they're at. And so that's not something difficult. So with that said, I want to encourage you to consider that and ways that maybe you can help with student ministries and Bible builders as we continue to grow forward as a church, right? So with that, Bible builders is continuing to do regular programming through the month of January. We got regular programming as well for student ministries.
Yeah, mostly. We're having a party on the 14th, on the 7th, since our Christmas party night was canceled. Then we had caroling, which was a blast. It
was a blast. It was cold.
It was a little chilly, but
we got done before your group.
Yeah, that's our group was just better, But anyway,
no, Mark and Tara did a wonderful job.
Getting that all organized was great. But so we're having we're going to change it to a kind of a New Year's party.
Okay, great.
The first Wednesday that we're back, and then after that, we're back in the book of Hebrews.
Okay.
So working through the Hall of Faith in chapter 11. Just what does faith look like, and what are some examples of faith? And
that's good.
Our group has been doing a great job of leading through that. We do have the Ignite Youth Conference coming up that we have to make sure that we remind kids. So last year we took like 17 or 18 kids down, I think, something like that. And man, it's a blast. It's a huge youth conference with a lot of worship and then a lot of breakout sessions where kids get to just kind of study some life things. And they've got,
love it.
Yeah, it is packed. There is a lot of people there. It is shoulder to shoulder walking through what is a very large church. And registration, they're turning people away every year. So we do need to get registered, so please get your kids registered like right away. Technically, January 1st was our cutoff date, but I think we might have to extend that a couple of weeks. But please get the kids registered. The youth conference is March 13th and 14th. We go down, we spend the night at a church, actually the church that I came from before here.
Oh, that's good.
So we stay at a church in West Des Moines, sleep there, and then so it's a Friday conference. We go get to the church just in time to go to sleep, wake back up early the next morning, and go do it again on Saturday. So, but it's impactful.
Yeah, I
it's
love
really impactful. So
Yeah, I remember a lot of the kids talking about it. Catherine even talked about it here in the office
Yeah.
last year. You were talking about it. So yeah, if you have kids in the middle school, I believe,
middle school, high school, yeah.
let's get them registered, and part of it could be something very transformative in their walk with the Lord. So
Yeah.
let's do it that well.
Invite lots of others as well.
Let's see. Moving off from that, we still have regular programming for small groups, men's and women's groups happening throughout the week. Saturday morning groups
Starting back up
Start
again.
back up. When do they start?
January.
Back in January.
Yeah, the first Saturday in January.
Okay, so that's coming right
So
up.
this, yeah.
Wonderful. So yeah, all that's regular programming as of right now. We have a prayer group that meets Sunday mornings. So if that's something that you would like to participate in, we'd love to get you plugged in with that. Bob Dodge is the one who leads that up.
Yeah, Bob and Brendan.
We just love their faithfulness to just show up every Sunday and to pray for our church and our community and our country, and just one of our pillars as a church is unceasing prayer, and so we want to be able to continue to build that culture in our house, and we do that in other ways as well, and we do like certain prayer nights throughout the year, and as well as regular prayer on Sunday mornings. So I'd love for you to be involved in that whatever way you can. Moving on from that, table songs, to give a couple updates. We have our Nashville kickoff on January 17th.
Yeah.
We got a couple of us from North Iowa going down for that to support our Nashville team as they continue to grow and build. Man, we have like a ton of folks already registered. It's going to be a big kickoff. We're really excited
New
for that.
venue, better.
Yeah, we are partnering
upgrading a little bit.
with a new church in Nashville.
No
Henderson.
offense to the old one, but yeah.
No, not at all. It was a kind of a God-ordained situation. New Heights Church in Hendersonville, Tennessee, is our new church partner in Nashville. Tony Mallory is leading things there in Nashville as our head of table, and is doing a wonderful job as he's kicking off a new year. And with that, we also have we're launching our worship leader cohort. It's our first one this year,
cool.
and so we got about 20 worship leaders registered from around the country who are participating in that for a 10-month cohort, where they're going to be going through some training and small groups and workshops, and a lot of it's going to be virtual, but then it culminates with them coming out here in person in October of 2026 to participate in our retreat here in the house. And so just really exciting stuff. I have a lot of anticipation of what God's going to do in the cohort this year. I got to participate and be a part of the vertical worship cohort back in the day.
Yeah.
And
So did Holly.
That's right. So did Holly.
Holly was there too. Yeah.
And I got to see God do some very transformative things in the lives of worship leaders through a very similar program to what we're running. And so I'm just excited to see what God's going to do with this as we launch the Table Songs worship leader cohort.
That's exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what God's going to do through that. I think he's going to pour into a lot of worship leaders across the country, and quite frankly, I think it's going to be good for our team as well.
Yeah, I agree. We have our worship leaders participating in it, like Sarah and Holly and Stephen are participating in it this year as well. So I love the fact that folks from our house are going to get to be a part of that as well, and they're going to be in a different small group. I told them, hey, you already listened to me enough.
Right.
You're going to be in Ben's small group, but just really exciting things that the Lord's doing in Table Songs in that aspect. But then also with that, we're getting ready for the launch of our publishing label in March, and with that, the release of our next worship project that we recorded. We still got some work to do on that, but just keep your eyes and ears open. Be praying for us. There's a lot that goes on when you're developing a worship project like this. There's a lot of spiritual warfare that goes around it, I should say. So just be praying for myself and our team as we continue to steward all these things. We don't get a chance to talk about Table Songs a whole lot, but for those who are watching today, like, we're literally impacting hundreds of worship leaders a year right now, who are then going back to their home churches, and through that impacting thousands of people who are a part of the churches that they lead at. And
Those might be some conservative numbers, but yeah.
But all of this is happening out of a ministry that is of our house. And so there's so many folks who are involved in running this ministry who don't even go to our church, who aren't even in Iowa. There's 27 folks on our table team right now, our core team, who are operating this ministry from around the country. And we're continuing to pray through opportunities to start tables, not just in Nashville, but Kansas City and Austin, Texas, and Jacksonville, Florida. And we could be seeing multiple tables running monthly for worship leaders and songwriters in multiple cities by the end of 2026. And so there's a lot that we're celebrating, and a lot that we're praying through and asking the Lord for discernment and wisdom on, and continuing to have the conversations with Terry and the elders on. And so, yeah, I just want to ask you as my church family to be praying for our ministry, Table Songs, as we continue to do capital C church ministry, impacting worship leaders and churches around the country. So.
Yeah, I would echo that. Please just be praying for protection and wisdom and discernment and God's grace and all of that. And it is a lot of technical things that we're working through on how all of that comes together and putting together a new album and how do our people interact with Table Songs. And so I think that's a big thing that has a lot of stuff going on. So we do covet your prayers for that.
Yeah. Thank you. So moving on, just to kind of begin to wrap up our time here, I know we're coming short to it. Just give us a bit of an update on the state of the church right now, Pastor Terry. We're starting a new series. We're kind of continuing on a new theme of revival. Just kind of give us a quick synopsis of what the next month is going to look like here. Yeah,
state of the church. If I just kind of start from the beginning, I think we don't talk a whole lot. I don't know if we've ever talked about finances that much in our podcast, but as you come to the end of the year, that's the end of budget time. And so what an opportunity for us to just praise God for what he has done at Harvest in our budget and in our finances this year. A huge blessing, again, with last year us adding the West Wing and doing that without taking out a loan. We added over 5,000 square feet to the building.
Yeah, that's good.
And just, paid for it. And we're still working on, some of the small details of finishing some of that construction up. But God has really blessed us that way. In the first quarter of the year, we'll have a family chat and we'll lay out the stuff for the budget for the 2026 year, and again review 2025. And it's great news. It's exciting stuff, and God has definitely blessed us tremendously through that. And we see it in our ministries in the church. We see it in the people in the church and our growth of the church. And so that has been awesome. 2025 God's been doing a great work, and it's been great to be a part of. So. That's right. Starting off the new year, we're starting off with a new, as I mentioned earlier, starting off with a brand new theme of revival. And because of kind of my studies through that, revival starts with us. And so we're starting off a short series called Awaken Us.
Let's go.
We'll have that starting off on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to getting that going. And I love you, and I'm going to challenge you as I've been challenging myself, and hopefully encourage you, and we'll have fun. And Lord willing, just continue to see life change in my heart and in our heart as a staff and elders and our people. And may it spread tremendously. Mark 1:17 says, and at once his fame spread everywhere throughout all the surrounding regions of Galilee. And so that has been a big prayer that's in my heart, that we would get to be a part of the fame of the name of Jesus spreading everywhere.
I love it. Let's go. Well, Terry, again, I want to thank you for your leadership and your care for us as a church. I'm excited to partner with you in another year of ministry. And
me too.
It's going to be an exciting year for not just us as pastors and as staff, but as a church. So I also want to thank you again as my church family for another year of serving together. And I'm looking forward to what God has in store for us as we start a new year here in 2026. So with that, thank you for watching again today, another episode of the State of the Church podcast here for Harvest Bible Chapel, North Iowa. And remember, as always, you are loved.